Many wealthy and not so wealthy countries have affordable and decent health care comparable to Medicare for All and free or low-cost college tuition. Though one could cherry-pick for healthcare horror stories, this is irrefutable. Some of the current Democratic candidates endorse similar health and higher education plans. As they explain them, these plans seem doable, and you appear to endorse the goals. Please state the reasons, ideological, logistical, or otherwise, why you won't fully support trying to achieve them.
Good question. First and foremost thing we must do in public life is be honest with the public. Bernie's been honest. This is going to cost between $30 and $40 trillion over 10 years. The entire federal budget on a yearly basis is less than it will cost on a yearly basis to provide for Medicare for All, number one. Number two.
What is up, guys? It's Mateo's 2020 Politics here, and today I'm going to be discussing the clip that you just saw about Joe Biden going against Medicare for All. But first, I wanted to announce that I won't be making videos on Thursdays because on Thursdays I go to fencing class or might go to my youth council. So after a long day's work, I won't have enough time to do my video and my other free things. Now going back to video, he kept going on and on for this. The video is about 8 minutes long, so he went on, and there's some more questions. So he went on for roughly 7 minutes straight, just trashing Medicare for All. And you could just tell that he thought he was doing a great job. He was just like, oh my gosh, I'm really debunking. This is going to be all over news. I'm doing an amazing job. And so one of his points was, well, it costs $30 to $40 trillion, right? Another point was what he said, oh, you know what, my plan allows, private insurance, but also it allows you to have Medicare for All as an option. Well, it's basically the same thing, because even if you have Medicare for All as an option, everybody's going to choose that option. There's nobody who's going to voluntarily say, oh yes, I'm going to choose the healthcare that makes me pay money over the healthcare that's free. Who's going to do that? Nobody. So it's kind of dumb, because even if you implement his plan, it's also going to cost $30 to $40 trillion, because everybody is going to obviously take the option that's free, and therefore the government will have to fund all of them. So if you prefer to, nearly go bankrupt by paying for healthcare rather than just have free healthcare, I mean, it's your choice, but I don't really agree with you. So that's how his plan would actually cost just as much as Bernie's. But then he also keeps pointing out, and I'm getting sick of it. He always points this out in the debates. He says, your plan costs $30 trillion, $30 to $40 trillion, and it's like, it's on one hand, it isn't really his fault, because Bernie has made mistakes. Bernie has not actually mentioned, oh, we're going to fund it through the 70% wealth tax, and it'll be over multiple years. Because he just kind of starts ranting about, when you have blah, blah, blah amount of people who are going bankrupt, when you have blah, blah amount of people who are homeless, that's good, but you got to answer his question. You got to stay on topic. So it's kind of Bernie's fault a bit, because he wasn't able to demonstrate to Biden, and Bernie would just completely wreck Biden if you were to mention that. But it seems to me that it isn't clear to Joe Biden that we could fund Medicare for All through the 70% wealth tax. Now, this is interesting, because it's like, how do you not know that? At this point, I just believe that he or his advisors searched up stuff about Medicare for All. They just searched up on Google. How much will Medicare for All cost? Oh, $30 trillion. Let's use that as our talking point. Medicare for All will cost $30 trillion. So, I mean, they haven't been looking deep enough. They haven't been able to see, or maybe they have, but they're just trying to cover it up, the fact that we could actually fund it through the 70% wealth tax. So 2 points that he made that just weren't really correct. This was from his new town hall from yesterday. I didn't watch it. I just saw the highlights. But his first point. Oh, you know what? We should do my plan that has that has Medicare for All as an option. It's not mandatory. The government isn't going to kick you off of your current health care that makes you pay and almost go bankrupt and force you to have free health care, because it's such a terrible thing to do. So, it's not terrible, first of all. And second of all, again, I'm going to repeat my point. If you have Medicare for All as an option, literally everybody's going to take that. Of course, they're going to choose the free option over the expensive option. So they're going to take that, and what's going to happen? Your plan's also going to end up costing $30 trillion at least. Second point, oh yeah, you know what? Bernie's plan costs $30 trillion. Well, it's going to be funded through the 70% wealth tax. But the difference between Biden and Bernie is that with Bernie, he's like, yeah, I'm willing to tax the rich, and I'm willing to, tax the rich in order to fund Medicare for All. With Joe Biden, he's not going to want to tax the rich. So with him, he's actually the one that's going to end up making the United States go into massive debt. He's the one that's not going to know how to fund his health care plan. Not Bernie. Bernie has a plan. With Joe Biden, he doesn't even know that that the U.S. is going to start after paying trillions of dollars. He doesn't even know how to fund it. So again, with Bernie, he does, because he knows, hey, this is going to cost a lot of money. The way to fund it is to use a 70% wealth tax. But Biden doesn't know what that is, so he can't fund his plan, because he doesn't even know that it's going to cost trillions of dollars. So these centrists, and I'm going to call them centrists, yes, not a moderate, are going to continue to repeat these out-of-touch talking points until the very end of this election. And many people might be tricked. Many people who believe Medicare for All are like, oh wait, it's going to cost that much money? More than the amount of money that the U.S. makes every year? Maybe it's not a good idea. And it's not their fault, because most people don't look really deeply into the statistics and how we're going to fund it. So thank you for watching this video, guys. See you guys later, and bye.